So in this tutorial we're going to look at smoothing out our bed a little bit because it's still a little stiff. So for example, this mattress, I'm going to double click the faces of the mattress. I'm just going to shift right click and smooth that out. Okay. And go to object mode, face mode. Kind of scale this up a little bit. Alright, then I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to hit 4 here so you can see a little bit better. I'm just going to select these verts at the end. Kind of flatten this out. Same thing here. I'm going to actually go to face mode and click this guy here so we hide everything but our pillow. Our mattress. I'm going to go to vertex mode and kind of flatten these guys out as well. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to go to object mode. And I'm going to do the same thing with these edges here. These top 2 edges. And the bottom edges here. These edges here. Now with all of those selected, I'm going to scale them out. It's just going to give me a little bit of a rounder mattress. Alright, let's unhide everything. And then I'm going to go to face mode, and I'm just going to scale that up a little bit so it better fills out my bed area. And then what I want to do is hit W and just kind of sink that in to the bed. Now these edges are a little sharp, and in our image they have a nicer, a little bit more round edge. So this takes a little bit of tweaking. So I'm going to switch to polygon mode. And when you do this, where you use the bevel tool, which is here, you have to be aware of 2 things: the width and the number of segments. So if I go up to 2 segments and I leave the width at 0.5 and I hit apply, you'll see that it gives me 2 cuts off here. But it's really quite a wide width. So let's bring this down to 0.1 and see how that looks. That's a little bit better. Then it gives us a nice rounded edge. Okay. What I'm going to do is go to face mode and double click this, hide everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and deselect all the faces in the middle. And then I'm going to control right click, go 2 edges, 2 edges. So it selects all of those top edges. And then I'm going to shift right click. Holding the shift button, right click, going to harden edges. And now you can see with those edges hardened, it gives me more of a firmer box. I'm going to go ahead and hide everything. Let's go ahead and hit Control S and hit continue. I'm going to jump into Unity at this point. Just kind of see how my new smoothed out bed looks. Looks pretty good. Again, we might want to scale up our entire bed just a little bit. It looks kind of small. So I'm going to jump back into Maya. Just kind of go in here, hit R, scale this up. And again, we want to be conscious of our transforms. See how it's kind of all over the place? Looks like I said I can't delete it. So I'm just going to do Modify, Grease Transformations. So it's all cleared. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit Control S again. Launch Unity. That looks a little better. Alright, so in this video we want to take a look at starting to unwrap our model. Unwrapping is the process that allows us to sort of start to texture our model. And what that does is it creates a 2D version of our bed. Alright, so let's start. The way I sort of begin unwrapping is I'll start all the way either from top to bottom, bottom to top, or from left to right. So we can actually start from unwrapping this baseboard and just kind of work our way to the right. I'm going to go ahead and go to Edit, Delete All by Type, History, to clean out my history there so my model's completely clean. And I'm going to right click, go to Face Mode, double click these faces here and these, and I'm just going to hide everything but these faces. So now we can kind of focus just on our headboard. Alright, let's go ahead and go to Window, UV Texture Editor. And this is where we're going to sort of lay out all of our UVs. Okay. So the way I like to do it is I always select the front face and the sides first, and I unwrap it. So to kind of show you what I mean. So I'm going to select that face and these side faces here. So again, I'm just kind of selecting the entire front face here. I'm going to select the top. So something like this. and I want to actually planar map it on my my Z axis. So I'm going to shift right click, go down to mapping, planar map Z, and you can see here it creates a sort of two-dimensional version of those faces that I selected. The only difference is it's actually these top faces are sort of hidden. So I'm going to right click, go to UV mode here. Now in order to select all of the UVs of the faces that we just planered, you have to hold Control and right click and go to Shell. Now a way to kind of smooth, unfold this out is to shift right click and go to Smooth UV tool and just click Unfold. And what you'll notice is it'll kind of pull out all of those hidden faces. You see that? Now what you want to do is you want to sort of keep all of these edges as straight as possible when you're unfolding. So a trick is to kind of cut specific edges while you're unwrapping to sort of get it so it sort of folds out like a box. So what I mean by that is I can actually select these edges here. So I'm going to go around and sort of select these. You can see them turning brown. These 4 edges here. Then I'm going to shift right click in here and just go to cut UVs. And what it does is it creates a seam. That line represents a seam. So let's try that again. So if I select this UV, Control right click to shell, and then I unfold that again, what you'll notice is it starts to unfold more like you would see a carton or a box unfold. Okay? So now we have all of these faces unfolded, right? So let's go ahead and select all these faces so you can kind of see that. We need to kind of unwrap these faces back here. So let's go ahead and select all of these faces here. Right? And I'm going to shift right click, go down to mapping, planar map Z. Kind of move this off to the side. Now something I like to do is I like to go to image, shade UVs to double check my UVs. If the UVs themselves are red, that means that they're sort of flipped. And what you have to do is go to UV mode and flip your UVs. So now they're blue. And you can go ahead and rotate it, because what we want to do is we want to go to edge mode. And we want to sort of line up. Here, let's go ahead and check this. So you can see we want to line up edges that are similar. So I'm going to go to shift right click, move and sew UVs. I'm going to go ahead and shell that one more time and smooth that out. And there we go. Now we have more of a sort of succinct headboard. Kind of looks like that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and select these guys and move them off to the side. Let's kind of go ahead and select all to shell. Move them off to the side. And we're going to start to begin to sort of unwrap our model in relation to the bigger parts first. So let's go ahead and unwrap, place this guy in here. I'm going to go ahead and double click this, and I'm going to focus just on this area because I want to go ahead and grab these faces on the inside. So I'm shift selecting these inner faces here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and map these on our y-axis. So I'm going to shift right click, mapping, planar map on y. I'm going to control right click to UV, control right click to shell. And I'm going to just go ahead and smooth my UVs out and see what that does for me. Okay. Alright, so that kind of took all of these UVs and sort of folded them in on themselves. So what I know that they kind of fit in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply place this inside of here, into this area in here. And then I'm going to go to edge mode, select this edge, move and sew UV. And I'm going to work my way around this model. Actually, let's go about this way. Let's try this. Let's try selecting that edge and moving down. There we go. So we're just going to kind of move that object around this way. And then let's go ahead and reselect everything. Shift right click, smooth UV tool, and unfold that again. There we go. And when you unfold it and it doesn't move anymore, that's how you know it's sort of finished. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and, again, select those UVs. I want to get them, I want to take up as less real estate as I can. So I'm just sort of placing it for now, and these will all get moved. Okay, I'm going to go to object mode. I'm going to go ahead and double click this box in the middle here, hide that. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to select all of these faces here in the front. Okay. Shift right click on Z. I'm going to go to mapping. Planar map on Z. To UV. To shell. So let's go ahead and go to UVs to shell. And let's go to Smooth UV tool. Let's go ahead and unfold this. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just go ahead and go to Edge Mode. Select these edges here. Shift right click. Shift right click, cut UVs to shell. I'm sorry, to UV. And then I'm going to unfold it again. And where the cuts are, it'll separate. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on this face here. I'm just going to map it, planar map on Z. To UV. I'm going to flip it, shift right click, smooth UV tool, and unfold that. Go to edge mode. Alright, you can see here that it's up here, so I'm just going to go ahead and rotate this. Oops, wrong area. Let's go to, it's just UV to shell. And let's rotate these guys. Moving so UVs. I'm holding shift to do that. Shift and right click. Control right click to shell. I'm just going to smooth these guys out. Alright, let's scale this down. Now this little box can actually fit right inside of this little area here. Like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. And then the next video, what we'll do is we'll continue to unwrap the rest of the bed.